In this one, we're going to talk about 3 foods that make you more attractive, and this is related to skin attractiveness. Number 1, dark chocolate, more specifically, cocoa flavonols. So in this randomized controlled trial, one group received cocoa flavanol supplementation while the other one got a placebo. And the results were, the group that received the supplement, they saw improved wrinkles, better skin elasticity, and also an increased photoprotection, so better protection against UV damage. The study lasted for 24 weeks, and here are some of the results. And as you can see, compared to placebo, wrinkles improved and also elasticity improved, as well as protection against UV damage. So dark chocolate begins to actually be healthy at around 70% or more when it comes to cacao content, but the more the better. However, there is a way to get the goods without the bad, which is by consuming cocoa powder or cacao powder, which is the undutched version. So with cacao powder, usually it is Dutched, which means that it's processed in a way that it removes the slightly bitter taste, but that also removes some of the cocoa flavonols, which are actually good for you. So if you want to get all the benefits with the least amount of negatives as possible, then you should get undutched cacao powder. Or if you want to eat dark chocolate, just get one that is 70% or above. Number 2, tomatoes, and more specifically, lycopene. By the way, this doesn't have to be tomatoes. It could be tomato paste, tomato sauce, etc. And those are actually better because they have higher bioavailability because the cell walls are broken down. So in this 12-week randomized controlled trial, tomato phytonutrient supplementation, which mainly included lycopene, amongst other carotenoids, the group that took the supplement, they saw a decrease in skin redness as well as an increase in photoprotection against UV rays. So here are some of the results when it comes to skin protection. And essentially, you get more DNA damage and more inflammation in the placebo group compared to the group that took carotenoids that mainly included lycopene. So these are pro-inflammatory cytokines, and they represent higher inflammation on the skin. And carotenoids, mainly lycopene, they decreased skin inflammation, and they also decreased UV damage on the skin. So if you want lower skin inflammation, as well as higher protection against the sun's UV rays, you can either take a lycopene supplement, which could be, for example, tomato extract, or it could be, for example, tomato sauce. There are multiple ways to do it. Supplements are usually more reliable because you're always getting the dose that you know you're getting, but they're usually more expensive too. So it depends on what you prefer. And also, since they're carotenoids, they are liposoluble. You need to consume them with the fat source, otherwise you're not going to absorb them. And number 3, dark green leafy vegetables. More specifically, lutein and zeaxanthin, which are 2 phytonutrients that are abundant in dark green leafy vegetables. So in this randomized controlled trial, one group received lutein and zeaxanthin supplementation, the other one got placebo. And essentially, the group that received the supplementation, they saw a decrease in lipid peroxidation in the skin, as well as an increase in photoprotection against the sun. And these 2 things also decrease skin inflammation as well. So you get all of these benefits at once. You get lower lipid peroxidation because yes, your skin contains lipids that are double bonded regardless of how you eat. Of course, your diet can vary that a lot, but you're still going to have those lipid molecules that have multiple double bonds and that therefore are susceptible to lipid peroxidation. So you want to prevent that lipid peroxidation as much as possible. And these phytonutrients, lutein and zeaxanthin, actually help you do that. And most people don't get enough of them because barely anyone eats vegetables, basically. You can either get them through supplementation or with whole foods, but essentially you're going to be getting all these benefits: lower skin inflammation, lower lipid peroxidation on the skin, and increased protection against UV damage. And by the way, if you want to find out how to become more attractive, click the link in the pinned comment and join the Skool community.